What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catch me where I'm live. Season 2 is well underway, and we should first cover some incoming class tuning. Let's see if your spec has been fixed or ruined. The info is up on screen, and I'll give a quick summary. Frost Death Knight DPS is up across the board, with Obliterate feeling 15% more satisfying. Havoc Demon Hunter DPS gets a modest bump, while Vengeance gets a bit more of an armor bonus. Resto Druid Healing is targeted to go up in dungeons through tweaks to their set bonus and signature HOTS, while slightly nerfing raid heals to balance it out. Preservation Evokers should feel a bit more effective with those quick response heals, thanks to increases to Verdant Embrace and Living Flame. It also helps to pop defensives before getting hit with things. That's for everyone else out there. Beast Mastery Hunter AoE DPS is up in a decent way, as is survival damage across the board. Frost AoE gets some improvements, and their survivability through Ice Barrier is up by a bit too. Brewmaster Monks get some more oomph thanks to a slight bump in damage and increases to their mitigation cooldowns. Rep Paladin DPS is going to be up, with boost to their Forcep tier bonus, which is basically the target explodes, so there's like more exploding. Warlock stocks are pretty far up. So like pet damage outside of the Felguard is way up, single target and cleave by a dots is up for Affliction. Demonology builders and spenders are up, and even Destruction gets a bump to their AoE. Finally, Protection Warriors will take a bit less magic damage, and as for the rest of us, we're lost and forgotten. Another week into Season 2 means a few expectations. First, more and more players may be lucky enough to start completing their 2 or even 4 set tier bonus, thanks to whatever's in the Great Vault and using the Catalyst. Almost none of you watching this are doing splits, so, stop comparing yourself to those folks. Speaking of the vaults, we have some new opportunities available, and if you're watching this early enough, maybe you can take advantage of this. Voidcores will now be a choice in the vault, as long as we complete any 3 requirements in the Great Vault, regardless of the role you participate in or the difficulty of that activity. A Voidcore can be used after clearing a dungeon or delve, or defeating a raid boss or a prey target. These are role tokens, and give you an opportunity to randomly pick from a dungeon or raid boss loot table based on what you've done and its difficulty. The strength of the item is based on how the activity is credited towards the Great Vault, and you cannot get the same thing twice when using these roles, meaning you can eventually claim everything off a given boss or dungeon loot pool. Loot you get that doesn't come from using a Voidcore does not count towards this credit. So those were a lot of words, and here's an example. I complete Prey at Nightmare level, and let's say I use a Voidcore and get a helmet. This helmet will be of the hero quality because Nightmare Prey credits us towards hero track from the Great Vault. Now, if at some point in the season I do this again, I follow the same steps, a hero track helmet will no longer be one of the possible drops I get because I got one already. But let's say, for whatever reason, I complete a normal difficulty Prey and use a Voidcore. I might have a chance of getting a champion helmet this time because technically I'm rolling on a different loot table. So while there are lots of opportunities to use Voidcores, there are some best practices to consider. To get hero track gear from Voidcores, you want to use them on tier 8 delves, plus 2 keys, or normal raids. To get myth track gear, your options are far fewer. You want to run plus 10 keys, heroic, or mythic raids. Because of the knockout nature of these bonus rolls, I'll usually recommend focusing your usage on specific raid bosses or dungeons at the highest difficulty you can normally do. That way you're sort of targeting gear that you want and will eventually get it. At the moment, Voidcores have no cap, so for you alcoholics out there, you may want to consider farming up Voidcores on alts even if you're not actively playing them. Like just hoard them for later in the season. Doing things like the layer boss, they do count towards defeating raid bosses. Even the weekly down in the vault, that counts as if you ran a tier 7 delve. It's up to you if you want to benefit or burden yourself with this farming method. Story mode is available during this week for folks like me, who haven't completed the raid at all yet or have not seen the ending data mine from a few weeks ago. I mean, it's crazy, but yes, we do in fact exist. And this gives us a chance to turn in the campaign completion quest for some extra gear. Raid Finder Wing 2 is available this week, and I got to apologize for being really wrong over the lineup last week. So we'll review what's available in both the first and second wings. In Wing 1, the first boss drops what looks to be a pretty powerful on-use healing trinket. There's also a pet, a transmog helmet, and this skull candle decor with lighting. The The second boss drops a tier token for the head slot, a neck that reduces certain raid and environmental damage taken, a caster trinket that feels like it's best used in keys actually, and a healing trinket that, depending on your class, you can use as off-spec healing too. There's also a leatherworking recipe and this snake fountain looking thing. In Wing 2, which is coming this week, the first boss drops tier tokens for the glove slot and a strength agility trinket that gives bonus haste, as well as this brazier decor. The second boss drops tier tokens for the chest, another one of those rings with the poison damage reduction, and 2 DPS trinkets for casters and agility specs, along with this green pyre. We're not done gearing yet either. Timewalking returns this week, and we're featuring Wrath of the Lich King, meaning the Timewalking raid in Ulduar. Hook yourself up with some easy champion gear from the bosses and hero gear from the raid after turning in weekly quests. In other events, the Pet Battle bonus event is this week, and on August 30th, US realms can enjoy Super Squirt Day. Power up those new pets you've been collecting across the Coiled Isle and sell them for sports, you monster. Also, the Northrend Cup starts this week, and for the next 2 weeks, fly across Northrend for tokens and hopefully some new cosmetic unlocks. Over in Mythic Plus World, it's going to be a Tyrannical Fortified week, and the projected affix is Voidbound, where you switch to the other ad and you smite it good. The final surge for the trading post should also be in play, so here's your monthly reminder to buy up what you want, free stuff for later, and stay tuned for the September trading post preview probably later this week. We didn't hear about it last week, so there is a high likelihood we'll be learning more about patch 12.1.5, including Labyrinth Delves, the new mini-raid, and Plunderstorm Remix. I'm just kidding. Stay tuned here for the reveal and the reactions. And around Azeroth, we're set to tour more amazing places throughout the week from some legends who've made repeat appearances. The Housing Blueprint Challenge is still open for entries, and what we've seen has been exactly what I've been hoping for. Accessible builds for people to easily create and call home, or have these layouts for builders to start their housing journey. Designers, now's your chance to show off your stuff and make something amazing to share with the world, or for glory, and of course, fabulous prizes. Details and sign-up information are below. With BlizzCon only weeks away, it's going to be a very exciting few weeks before things get all crazy, and I hope you'll join me for all the action. Thanks for coming. Please like this video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.